Yeah, and quite frankly, Matt, I feel as though he doesn't get talked about as near as much as he needs to. And I mean, he doesn't get the praise he deserves. I mean, just look at the stats, look at the games. Very rarely do we see a freshman come on the field and go undefeated throughout the whole regular season, only taking one loss the entire season and now was in the playoffs. And on top of that, the kid is probably one of the most accurate quarterbacks in all of college football. So yes, for me, it's blasphemous that he doesn't get any recognition for the type of dominance he showcased on that field every single Saturday.
Okay, no, I can't agree with you on all of this because, I mean, is what he did as a true freshman remarkable? Yes. Look at the conference he was in. He's supposed to be good. I mean, look at who his dad is, Deshaun Hughes, former NFL quarterback. And his brother, Jalen Hughes, was the best in the country at one point. So being good is in his bloodline, but I feel like I have to see more. I'm just not that impressed right now. And maybe he can prove me wrong because he did enter his name into the transfer portal. We don't know which school yet, but if he can go out there and take over a more powerhouse conference and give us the same performance, then he might get my vote. But as of right now, at least from what I see, he is nowhere near the best quarterback in college football, and truthfully, I don't even feel like he's better than his brother was in high school.
Okay, now you're stretching. I mean, I hate to say it, but true at all. This is two different levels of
Man, what I tell you about watching this stuff, bro? He don't know what he talking about.
I know, bro. I just want to see what they had to say about me first before I change it.
Look, bro, this what's going to happen. You're going to transfer to a school with better competition, lead them to an undefeated record, just like you did at San Jose, and before you know it, that Heisman Trophy going to be sitting on your dresser. But you can't be listening to all the critics, bro. I had to learn that the hard way.
Nah, you right. I can't lie, though, bro. It is kind of crazy how I didn't get any recognition. I ain't even an All-American or nothing. But it's all good because I'm finna go out there and dominate again. And I think I know which school I'm going to, but they gonna see. They gonna see for sure. First and foremost, man, welcome to the part 2 of my football career. Now look, in my last episode, I showed y'all my backstory and y'all loved it. And y'all also seen how my freshman season went down, so y'all know how good I did. And now it's time for my sophomore year. And as y'all might have heard, I did enter the transfer portal, but y'all already knew that was coming. And after me taking San Jose State to the playoffs, only losing one game last season, I had plenty of schools that wanted me to come play quarterback for them. I'm talking about some good schools, man. It was kind of stressful for me to make that decision. But throughout that whole time, I low-key knew exactly where I wanted to go. And I'm pretty sure y'all know exactly where I'm talking about. And after weighing out all my options, I went to what felt natural, which was UCLA. And it felt like instantly me and the head coach had chemistry. And it was probably because me and him had already met before, but it was under different circumstances. See, he had made a few home visits before, back when they were recruiting my brother. And now I'm the one that's finna be playing for him. Now, of course, this transfer came with a bag. Now look, I never really had any of my own money to spend. So of course I did something nice for myself. Now, if y'all remember, my brother got me a nice little whip for me to get back and forth between home and college. So I went ahead and upgraded to a Hellcat, you know, just a little something for all the work I've been putting in. And with me having a little money in my pocket now, my dad started to take notice. And eventually he said he needed to have a talk with me.
Now look, son, I see you starting to make a name for yourself, and I'm happy things are going good for you right now. But look, as long as you staying in this house under my roof, you will have to start paying me. Now, your brother, Jalen, he already paid all his debt, and I've been letting you stay here for free, so I think it's time that you start paying too.
You know what, Pop? I ain't paying you nothing. This whole time I've been living here, you ain't asked me how my day was, how I've been doing, not once. You ain't never treated me like a son, so before I pay you anything, I get my own spot. You ain't finna run me dry like you did Jalen trying to pay off your own debt. So there I was, moving into my own crib. And if y'all watch episode 1, then y'all know why I went down this way and why I got heated so quick. But hey man, I had to do what I had to do. Now that I moved into my own spot and I got a peace of mind, it's time for me to get locked in for this upcoming season.
So on fire. Welcome to Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world.
Game number 1 of the season, and y'all see it, we up against the UNLV Rebels. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I got a little chip on my shoulder because they don't believe I can do the same thing in a different conference. First pass of the game, we're going to give it out to the halfback in the flat, and that gets shut down after a game of 2. So we get stalled on our first drive of the game, but they don't score either. And I had a receiver open, but I felt like I could get more on the ground. So I take off for a huge scramble as my receiver blocks, and I step out past the 50. Catching my boy wide open across the right. He going to bring that one in and take it all the way up the field, almost getting into that end zone, but he gets stopped a little bit short. Up 7-0, looking to add on to that lead. I'm going to roll out to the left and throw a beautiful pass downfield right in front of the end zone. And I'm going to get my first touchdown on the ground off of this option. Give me 6. Y'all see we hitting that Heisman pose early this season. Third quarter and we up 17-3. Looking downfield to my receiver on the corner. And y'all know I'm the most accurate quarterback in college football. Throwing an absolute dot for another touchdown. Going crazy. Like, just look at it, bro. Crazy accuracy. Dropping back with the score being 24-3. I'm going to look into that corner again and throw another heater for another touchdown, man. We easily take that dub with the final score being 38-10. And y'all see our boys right back where he left off. Winning player of the game with 192 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. And we even got a little recognition winning offensive player of the week. Game number 2 of the season, and y'all better keep watching because we got a pretty tough schedule, so we're going to have some good games. And we starting early up against number 2 ranked Georgia. Already my offensive line is having trouble holding up against this defense. On the second play of the game, I'm going to scroll out to the left. After finding nothing downfield, I'm going to give it some time. My time is winding down, so I let one fly down the field, and he going to come up with a huge completion. And what a catch, what a pass, man. That's just a big play against a really good team. My halfback is going to do the rest, getting us into that end zone for 6. End of the first quarter, they go up 10 to our 7. Having trouble getting the ball down the field, and on the 3rd and 11, I'm going to roll out and throw an off-balance dot to my receiver wide open for a big gain. Third quarter, and we are up 14-10. That corner route seemed to be open every time, and I complete another dot down the field, getting us right by the end zone. Georgia goes up 22 to our 21. And shout out to my receivers, man, because they've been making big plays all game. Here go another one, throwing a bomb downfield for a huge completion. And I might have just found my favorite target. Calling the audible and putting him on a go route, I'm going to go right back to him for that touchdown, man. I ain't going to lie, man. I know I just said it, but I think he is going to be my favorite target this season. 2 back-to-back big plays. And as if that wasn't enough, man, we going right back to him on a 2-point conversion, and he's wide open again. Defense doing their thing, keeping Georgia from scoring. The score is now 22-29. I'm going to add on to that right back to Gilmore. I mean, like, bro, y'all ain't never seen a receiver so open in the game. He deserve a Heisman for this performance alone. Adding salt to the wound. I call the audible and put my tight end on a go route, leaving him wide open for another touchdown. I know they don't believe in me, man. I had to come out here and make a statement. So we put our name into all the sports headlines after we take this huge win against Georgia, with the score being 43-29. A huge disappointment that nobody seen coming. Like I said, man, I had to make a statement. I finished this game with 364 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Game 3 up against number 16 ranked Washington. We started off on fire, putting together some big passing plays on our first drive, catching my tight end wide open across the middle for a big gain. Putting the halfback in motion and taking the snap, rolling out to the right before that pressure gets to me, and I catch my receiver open in the end zone for my first 6 of the game, tying it up. Second quarter with the score being 6-7, y'all know we like that corner route, and we gonna find my boy open again. We getting into that end zone for the second time tonight, and I told y'all that boy is always open. Washington get a field goal, making the score 14-9, trying to get some points before the half. I see my receiver open on the left side and deliver a dot his way. He get us up to the 10 before stepping out. Third quarter, and they make it a 1-point deficit with the score being 16-17. Which I know my eyes are glued downfield to my receiver, who has not failed me yet, and he makes another big play. Y'all know we throw nothing but dots over here, throwing an absolute heater to my receiver on the left side of the field, giving us good field position. Don't know how, but my tight end is left completely open for another touchdown. Facing a 4th and 2 in the red zone, y'all know we cannot go scoreless. Rolling out to the right, and I find my receiver open in the end zone for another tutty. Score is now 26-31, and there's no defense in the backfield to guard this route. My receiver is wide open. He gonna take this for an easy touchdown. Yet again, another upset, man. We win this game with the score being 38-26. We keep playing like this, we're going to be in them rankings soon. I have another great day with 395 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. 3-0 going up against New Mexico. This should be a cakewalk. But to my surprise, on the first drive, we get stalled with a 3-and-out. And they go up 7-0, but on our second drive, I see my receiver flaring out to the left. The defense don't get a finger on him as he makes his way to the end zone and gives us our first 6 of the game. And guess who? New Mexico don't score. Rolling out to the left, I catch my favorite target wide open again. Release a bomb downfield. He gonna make a big play as he normally does.
And they'll move the chains in a good way.
And with that completion, I'm already over 1,000 passing yards this season alone. 3rd and 3 in the red zone, rolling out to the left. I catch a guy open right in front of the end zone, and I go his way for another 6. Coming back from halftime in good field position, I waste no time giving it to my receiver on a go route for another touchdown. UCLA remains undefeated with the final score being 31-21. I finished this game with 266 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Game number 4, and we up against Northwestern. Starting this game off much like the rest, diving into that passing game, but I get met with pressure off the rip, so I roll out to the left, deliver a bomb all the way downfield to an open receiver for a huge gain. Very next play, I'm going to find my tight end, fading out to the right for an easy completion and a touchdown. If y'all watched my first episode, y'all know I had a problem when it came to the field, and that problem was fumbling. And here I am, fumbling for my first time in my sophomore season, giving Northwestern great field position. But they only get a field goal out of it. We start moving down that field quick again, with this completion getting us down past the 10. Very next play, without wasting time, I already know where I'm going, and he's wide open for that touchdown. Up 14-3, I see my boy Braden down the field. With a step on his defender, I'm going to deliver a bomb his way, and of course he come down with it and get us another touchdown. Deep in the 3rd quarter, and Northwestern low-key trying to make a comeback. But instead, I'm going to add 6 onto that lead with another pass to my tight end. That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. What should have been a cakewalk, low-key was a competition with the final score being 31-20, but nevertheless, we remain undefeated. Now finished with 251 passing yards for 4 touchdowns. Y'all can see by that mascot who he up against next, which is Michigan State. This play of the game, I'm holding on to the rock too long, and I get brought down with a sack. Very next play at a 2nd and 19, they gonna make it worse for us with another sack. And at a 3rd and 27, the tide's gonna turn real quick, finding my open receiver down the middle. We gonna get that first down and much more. 2nd quarter, the game is now tied 7-7. I roll out to the right. I had to check down, but I wanted more. And I see my receiver waiting patiently downfield for a huge reception.
It's complete. A huge pickup. Offense on the move.
Looking to get into that end zone, and y'all can't tell me I ain't the most accurate quarterback in the league. He just dropped it. But y'all really got to look at this, man. Look at the ball placement between 2 defenders. All the way downfield, throwing a complete laser, but he just dropped it, man. Bro, we in the 3rd quarter struggling to score against Michigan State, with the score still being 7-7, and I fumble again, but luckily my offense got on top of that. 4th quarter, and we up 3, with the score being 10-7. I'm going to hit my receiver on a comeback. And finally, they mess up and leave Gilmore wide open for a touchdown. Y'all knew he was going to get open eventually, right? Starting to pull away when it matters. The boy is wide open on the corner route, left alone in the end zone for 6. Finally, we get the dub with the final score being 24-14. Couldn't really score into the 3rd quarter, but hey, at least we got the dub. I finished with 217 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Next up, we up against Indiana, and after going 6-0, we finally ranked number 18. After going scoreless on our first drive, Indiana goes up 7 to our zip. On the 3rd and 2, I'm going to use my legs to pick up that first down, breaking ankles on the way. Not being able to really cook in the passing game, we down 7-14, but I'm going to use my legs to pick up this first down again, snatching some more ankles, and it looks like we can live off of the run game.
They finally make the stop. That's going to make those halftime stats look a little bit nice.
4th quarter now, and the score is still 7-14, but I found my receiver open in the middle, trying to make something work. Finally starting to see some daylight in the passing attack, catching my receiver open on a slant right in front of the end zone. And the halfback going to do the rest. Trying to get a lead with a minute left in the 4th quarter. I'm able to put some big plays together.
Play, and here they come again. Complete to the left.
8 seconds left in the game. Rolling out to the right, I find my receiver with a step on the defense, and we get in there for 6.
Touchdown, Bruins. And inside a minute to go, and they've got the lead.
And in a close game against a ranked team, we take the win with the final score being 21-14, just barely scraping by. Now finish this game with 232 passing yards for a touchdown. Y'all see it, man. Game number 8, we up against Ohio State. We are now ranked number 13, and they're ranked number 15. And I can't believe it, man. First play of the game, my receiver is wide open. He gonna make his way to the end zone while nobody's gonna catch him. So we start this game off great, man. Getting an early lead. First play of the game.
What a way to start this game offensively.
After kicking 2 more field goals, we up 13-0. Our defense is doing their thing, man. And we're going to stretch the lead with the halfback taking it all the way in untouched. But after that touchdown, we have not moved the ball down the field. And by the third quarter, the score is 23-15. They slowly coming back. Before you know it, man, the score is now 23-21. They're only down 2, and on this 3rd and 10, we cannot convert the first down. Minute 30 in the 4th, and the score is now 33-28. And I take off for a huge run to get that first down on the 3rd and 5, getting all the way up past the 20 before being pushed out of bounds.
And this is why a mobile quarterback.
We are able to snag a real close win with the score being 33-28. Should have never been this close because we was whooping them at first, but they came all the way back. And I finished this game with 219 passing yards and a touchdown. Ranked number 8, and now we up against Nebraska. We don't score in the first drive, and they do with the score being 7-0. I'm going to hand it off to my halfback. He going to make it look easy, slicing that defense like butter and making his way to the end zone for 6. They go up 14, and we're going to give it right back to him, down by the end zone for another touchdown. And I might not have to pass the ball at all today the way he running. Nebraska is not a match for our running back, and he break off another huge run. I guess I lied, though, because we right outside the red zone, and I catch my receiver on an out route for a touchdown. 4th quarter, and the score is 17-21. Faking the handoff and seeing my tight end roll out to the right for that touchdown. Remaining undefeated with the final score being 28-23. And I finished this game with 200 passing yards even and 2 touchdowns. We are now ranked number 3 going up against number 9 ranked Penn State. We are moving down that field slowly but surely, and y'all see I'm throwing a complete dot down the middle, getting us right there by that end zone. And without hesitation, I'm shooting it right to the receiver on the comeback for that touchdown, giving us that early lead. 3rd and 11, facing pressure instantly. I'm rolling out to the right and deliver a complete laser before being tackled, getting us that first down. Great next play, I'm met with pressure again, rolling out to the right and deliver another dot on the sideline. 2 times is cool, but 3 times back-to-back is crazy. They gonna let us get into the end zone off of that same exact movement.
Touchdown, UCLA. This quarterback on fire today.
Score is now 10-14 in the 2nd quarter. And I throw a crossbody dot down the right side again. Tight end gonna run that corner route to perfection, and I throw a dot right there by the end zone. 35 seconds left in the half, and the score is now 17-21. I deliver another dot on the corner route.
That's complete downfield.
4th quarter, and the scoreboard hasn't moved except for us getting the field goal. Off of this same exact motion, I'm gonna get another touchdown. So we take the win with the score being 38-24, and we remain undefeated, man. It looked like I'm going to do the same thing again that I did at San Jose State. And I finished this game with 283 passing yards and 3 touchdowns with an 87% completion rate. Crazy. Yes, sir, we did it, y'all boys. We are now ranked number 1 going up against Maryland. Dang near the whole first quarter done went by, and neither of us have scored. I had to show y'all this complete dot I threw. Letting the play develop, but nobody's open, so I take off myself and get into that end zone with nobody to touch me on my way there. They go down and tie it up, but we starting to put some big plays together. Catching my receiver open on the end route, he gonna take this one all the way up to the end zone for 6. 3rd quarter with the score still being 7-14. I'm rolling out to the left, looking for an open receiver. I buy myself some more time and throw a dot downfield. That's a complete laser, man. I'm throwing. Stop playing with me, bro.
And they'll finally bring him down.
Halfback gonna cap off that drive with a nice run, beating all the defense on his way to the end zone, adding on to that lead. But then I go and make a mistake throwing a pick, not seeing the middle linebacker, and I throw my first interception of the season. QB option, I'm going to keep the handoff. With the score being 14-21, I end up fumbling for my 2nd time this season.
Defense has it. They're going the other way.
Tie ball game late in the 4th. I'm rolling out to the right, scanning that field, and I see my receiver left alone downfield. And I deliver a crossbody laser straight to him, and we get right by the red zone that quick. And I know my halfback going to come in the clutch and put us back on top.
And they grab the advantage, taking the lead here in the 4th.
So I made a few costly mistakes today, but nevertheless, we still come out on top with the final score being 28-21. Now I finished this game with 269 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. 12th game of the season with an 11-0 record, we up against the USC Trojans. Now this one should be extra good because it's a rival game. First play of the game, we're going to hit him with a big shot down the left side of the field for a nice completion. Not really much going on this game with the score being 6-6 in the third quarter. I'm going to roll out to the right and find my receiver on the sideline for a nice grab. Moving down that field, completing another short pass for a decent gain. And with that reception, I've now thrown for over 3,000 yards this season. Right there in the red zone on a read option, I'm going to decide to keep it, but I fumble again for the third time this season, and the defense recovers it, man. But I guess they got an interception, and we kept the ball right at the same spot, and I throw a touchdown my very next play on the field. Trying to add more to that lead before the end of the third. And I find my receiver unbothered, and he almost gets into the end zone, but he ends up a yard short. Somehow they stop us 3 times back-to-back in the red zone. A very close rival game, but we come out on top with the final score being 20-13. We did it, man. We remained undefeated the whole regular season. Now I finished this game with 233 passing yards for a touchdown. And after that game, we were invited to play in the Big Ten Championship against the Michigan Wolverines.
Welcome to another chapter in the long legacy of the Big Ten Conference. It's a championship game in the new expanded Big Ten, and there are high stakes here. Not just a conference championship, but potentially positioning themselves for one at the national championship.
Here we are, man, a Big Ten championship against the Michigan Wolverines. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I feel like we got this in the bag. Our first play of the game, I get met with instant pressure, and I'm scrambling out for help and nearly throw an interception on the first play. But a few plays later on the 3rd and 8, catch my receiver fading out to the right and complete a dot to him, and he brings us up down the field all the way in the red zone. Very next play, I check it down to my receiver on a comeback route, and we get into that end zone for the first 6 points of the game. Second quarter, and the score is now 10-3. I get met with pressure, but deliver a bomb downfield, and it lands right in the breadbasket. Going right back to my favorite target, Gilmore. And of course, he got to step on the defense, giving us a big chunk of yards. Looking to get into that end zone, but instead I throw it straight to the defense, and they picked that one off. But luckily, they don't capitalize off of that interception. Scrambling out for an open receiver, but I decide to take it. I see a whole lot of green grass, making a move, breaking ankles on my way, getting close to that 40. Third quarter, and the score still remains the same with it being 10-3, and I'll fumble for my 4th time this season. I don't know what has been going on with me, man. Thankfully, the defense is doing their thing, keeping them from scoring. I'm going to fire to my receiver at the back of the end zone. Y'all already know I'm throwing nothing but straight dots, adding on to our lead. Fourth quarter with the score being 9-17, I'm looking downfield and I catch him on a slant, and he nearly gets into that end zone. And I reward him for making that big play by throwing it to him right in front of the end zone for another touchdown. 57 seconds left, and on the 3rd and 9, we cannot convert the first down. They came all the way back and put us in overtime, but I'm throwing nothing but straight dots. Right there in the corner of the end zone, 100% accuracy. On the first snap of overtime, man. But they go down and do the same thing, giving them the lead, and I throw another dot. Right there in the corner of the end zone again, man. Nobody has accuracy like me, I'm telling y'all that right now. It's not over because we got to get that 2-point conversion, and we sure enough do. All we need right here is another 2-point conversion, and we win the game. Scrolling out to the right, I'm going to find my receiver open, and let's go, bro. We're going to take that dub. A very close game, too close for comfort, but the final score ended up being 41-39. Going into triple overtime, man, this was for sure a good Big Ten championship game. And I had a decent game with 374 yards for 5 touchdowns, but I did have 2 interceptions and that fumble. After that game, we move on to the Rose Bowl against number 8 ranked Notre Dame.
Pasadena and the majestic Rose Bowl, one of the unique settings in all of sport. This year's Rose Bowl presented by Prudential is
crazy to say this, man, but we are still undefeated. As y'all can see, we right here in the Rose Bowl, but we got our mind set on the national championship. But first, we got to get through Notre Dame. Coach want to call that read option early, and I'm going to keep it this time, but as y'all can see, I learned something new, which is slotting. Taking the shot down that sideline early in the game, and it's going to come up completed, of course. Hitting my tight end on a check down, and we moving this drive pretty quick. But even though we was right there, man, they stopped us 3 times in a row. We could not get into the end zone. So we settle for the field goal, and they go up 7-3. But guess who is wide open down the field, coming in the clutch again? That's right, man. Your boy Gilmore is wide open down the field for our first touchdown of the game. Late in the second quarter, backed up in our own end zone, we're going to change sides of the field pretty quick off a pass to my open receiver off of a slant. Third quarter, but playing against a defense this good, I cannot afford to make these mistakes. Throwing a pick, giving them all the momentum in the world.
Now look at the return after the interception. Sets the offense up in good shape.
Score is now 14-17, and even though I threw that pick, they forgot they playing against the most accurate quarterback in the nation. Throwing a complete laser to my favorite target downfield, and of course he comes up big. Hey, bro, just look at the ball placement. Start of the fourth quarter, the score is now 14-24, and I throw as I get hit, but it winds up getting intercepted again for my second of the game. To make matters worse, he returns this one back for a pick 6. Score is now 21-24, only with a 3-point lead. I'm going to throw a dot to Gilmore again, and right back to him on the corner route. Y'all know he's going to be open. My halfback going to cap the drive off with a touchdown. And here we go, man. We move on with the final score being 31-21, a 10-point win against Notre Dame.
Stage gets even bigger. The champion as this team continues to win football games, but you and I have been around this team all.
And I finished this game with 299 passing yards for 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, sadly.
Welcome, folks, to Glendale, Arizona, and State Farm Stadium, site of this year's Verbo Fiesta Bowl, which, of course, is part of the college.
Last game we got to play before the national championship, and we done made it this far undefeated, man. We feeling pretty good about this one. But the last time we played this team, it was pretty close. We are up against the Ohio State Buckeyes for the second time this season. Starting the passing attack early, and it's working pretty well for us. On the 2nd and 8, while I'm looking for an open receiver, I see a gap in the defense, so I decided to take that up the field and slide down inside the 20. But before you know it, we facing the 3rd and 12, and I get met with a vicious pass rush. We get met with a 3rd and 11 again. The score is now 7-3, and I throw an unusual off-target pass. So they go up 14 to our 3, but we starting to get the pass game going again. And just like we got them the first time we played them, that corner route is left wide open again for our first touchdown of the game. Facing the 3rd and 10, with the score being 21-10, man, I throw my first interception of the game.
Oh, it's picked off. What a play. Big takeaway. Now looking for a big return. And that's a solid return.
We are now in the 3rd quarter, and the score is 24-10. I throw a complete dot downfield down the sideline, and he comes up with a big reception. But after taking a sack and an intentional grounding, facing the 3rd and 31, and we cannot convert it. Late in the 3rd, and UCLA is not looking good. But I throw a bomb downfield, and my receiver completely head taps his defender and comes down with a big reception. That gave us some momentum, and I threw a dime to get us at a 1st and goal. On that 3rd and goal, I finally catch a receiver open for another touchdown. 3 minutes and 55 seconds in the 4th quarter, with the score being 24-16. I'm trying to change all that. I don't know what done got into my receiver, but I throw another bomb his way. He head taps the DB again for the 2nd time, man. He going crazy today. Like, just look at it, bro. Facing the 3rd and 1 in the red zone, trying to find something open, and I can't. But on that next drive with 1:30 left in the 4th, I'm going to throw a bullet to my receiver in the red zone. Coming in the clutch, man, I found my receiver open for a comeback route, and he gets us a touchdown. We could tie this game up, man. With a 2-point conversion, we gonna test our luck. And I can't find nobody open, so I do it myself. Tying the game up in the 4th quarter. So we end up going to overtime, and everything is sitting on this play right here. A 4th and 13, we have to get that first down. Sure enough, I complete a pass to my open receiver across the middle for that first. Very next play, I take the snap, and they leave a gap in the defense, so I'm going to take that and get into the end zone, tying the game up. But then we go into a 2nd overtime. We get the ball first. I can't find nobody open, so I get outside the pocket, and that's when I notice all that green grass in front of me, and I'm going to take that all the way up into the end zone, man, putting us on top.
like this quarterback is surveying the field for an open receiver.
It's been a crazy game so far, and now we're looking for that 2-point conversion. And I believe in my receiver, so I make a short pass to him, and the ball hits his hands, but he drops the pass, bro. And off of him dropping that pass, we would lose the game and put it into our season. They went down and scored, and they got the 2-point conversion. If we would have got the 2-point conversion, it would have been a tie ball game. I don't want to be too hard on my receiver because I know he's probably going through it right now, knowing that game was on him. But, man, yeah, this is how the season ended, sadly. A close-fought game, but we didn't fight hard enough. Now I finished this game with 346 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Y'all know, to be quite honest with y'all, I can't even be mad about how this season went. I mean, yeah, I wanted to go to the national championship and win, but I did lead my team to an undefeated record up into the playoffs for my 2nd time. I only lost 2 games my whole college career so far. But either way, I feel like I've proved myself to all the naysayers. And for next season, I'm looking to go all the way. But thank y'all for tapping in to part 2 of my journey. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And with that being said, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.
Money, huddle, gotta, cuddle, ladder, order, dollars, quarters, wrist, water, reach, water, bitch, wanna, come on, hey, I'm a stunner.